Hello, hello, hello. It is the real Dawn Bates. How are you today?
I'm really well, but your sound is still really atmospheric.
No, 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 no.
No, you're back again.
I'm back. Is that fine?
You're back.
Woo! Woo! Everybody dance now, dude.
Well, with me and my internet streaming on StreamYard, you and your sound problems, like,
Oh my
this
God.
is a powerful conversation.
Well, exactly. Two powerful women, darling. That's what it is. Two powerful women.
Absolutely.
Right? What I've done is I switched it to my fabulous microphone here.
Oh, I do like that microphone.
I saw it and I bid for it. You know, it's like a Mickey
That
Mouse.
was a burlesque moment.
It was, wasn't it? I know.
It was.
So I decided that I was using that instead of the computer one, which apparently you're not hearing very well yet on StreamYard. It was perfect, right? And it was you that was.
It was.
So one of my burlesque moments, right? It saved me again. Burlesque has saved me at various points in my life. But enough about me. Right, with my burlesque all over the place, sort of kind of like anything goes type thing. More about you, because Dawn, you have lived an amazing life, right? You're probably a testament to life had to make it really, really tough in order for you to find who Dawn really is. And be able to reach inside and carve yourself a bloody kick-ass career, girl. There's no two ways about it, is there? Right? Because I have talked about it with my people, you know, about the crossing the line book, you know, the circumstances that led to that, right? Where you then discovered the only way that you could express everything you had inside was to put it down in black and white, you know, and make it creative and get it out there so you could process it. And then discovering this amazing talent of writing that you've got and how you're able to transform and take other women's messages, right, their inner message, and put it into black and white so that the world can read that as well. How incredible is that? You've heard the saying, haven't you? The pen is mightier than the sword. And my God, you're a hell of a warrior girl in that case. Tell us about your new book. Tell us, what's it called?
And it's called Becoming Annie, the biography of a curious woman. And I met Annie through LinkedIn, and it was really quite interesting because we connected via somebody else's post, and then Annie's got a podcast called Memoirs of a Successful Woman, and I was invited, and I wasn't sure whether I was invited on with this lady that we both knew. So I sent her a voice note, just giggling, and she sent me one back saying, "Oh my God, I just nearly crashed the car. I was giggling so much," right? And all I could hear was giggles on her voice note. And then 4 months later, here we have a book about her life. So we connected. She told me she wanted an autobiography. I was like, "You do not want an autobiography. You need a biography." And then we went down the rabbit hole on Google. Well, I did. I researched her, stalked her within an inch of her life, and then wrote the book, and we're now ready to publish. And the time right now is 11:11 on my laptop. Woo!
Oh my God. I have been getting 11:11 every night, the last 3 nights as well. So there's some alignment going on there, girl. The universe is actually really aligning for you.
I'm 22, 19, 11, you name it, I'm seeing it. It's
We could have lost you there. You froze.
Oh, really?
Just slightly you froze, right? At least it wasn't anything like, I know.
Do you know, I've seen far too many of those captionless photos for me to have like a clean mind when I see those.
It just makes you, you know, why is it as well, right? I do a lot of Facebook Lives, right? And then they always freeze the part in the video, right, for the front of the Facebook that's got the worst possible face pulling going on.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, how does that happen? It's like the software in there knows that that's your worst pose. And just puts it up.
Yeah, I switched it round. I was like, okay, caption this,
Oh,
But then I was like, maybe not keep doing that, Dawn, because some of those captions were just not flattering.
well, not to us anyway, but probably hilarious to other people.
Yeah,
You need to have
great marketing.
exactly. Other people do it deliberately. Actually, it's accidental, isn't it, with you? But then
That's why I like Vimeo, because you can select the freeze frame.
Ah, that's interesting. Wow.
When you upload your videos to Vimeo, because I like to use Vimeo because there's no advertising like there is on YouTube. But also you can actually then bundle up your videos and then sell them, individual like videos, or you can like create a library and sell the library. So like when you're putting an offer out, you can actually bundle everything up and then sell them. And then but you can then share it, but you can also select the freeze frame that you choose. So you can choose a flattering one, or you can choose a really random one and then make a really funny caption to get people interested in what's actually in the video. So yeah,
wow.
Vimeo is a game changer. I love it.
Wow, that's incredible. Game changer. And there's a golden nugget for anybody watching this right now, right? Is that Dawn, the real Dawn Bates, uses Vimeo. So listen, back to the book before we're digressing too much, right? So you stalked this woman, right? Because you loved her podcast, basically. That's what I heard. Okay. And this is a classic case of, right, energy. You throw a lot of energy at something, right? I'm not saying for everybody to turn into a stalker here. What I'm saying is when you become intent, right, on your energy and focus, isn't it? That you must have felt something in your soul that aligned with that, that it spoke to you. She spoke to you, and energetically there was an alignment, like the 1111 that you keep seeing, like all the number alignments that you keep seeing. Okay, and then so tell us, how did you come to actually work with her after stalking her? I'm curious.
No, like honestly, it was that message, like that giggle message, to a meeting, like a Zoom meeting like this, and the deal was already done before we like, you just know. And I've always said I giggle my way to abundance, and never underestimate a woman who giggles a lot, because I tell you what, she'll come and bite you on the ass. Right, but the thing is, not literally. But the thing is that we jumped on the call, just on a Zoom call, and by the end of that Zoom call, the deal was done.
That sounds like a match made in heaven.
She's a beautiful woman. I absolutely adore her. And like, honestly, it feels like, we just feel like we've known each other our whole life. We've like, if I could choose a sister, it would absolutely be her. If I, and the thing is, it's like I've got a lot of people that I would choose as a sister. I mean, they're soul sisters, but this woman, it's just like, where has she been all my life? And it's almost like we've had to go through everything we've been through. And you mentioned crossing the line, but I remember before crossing the line, my second book, Wallahi, for me to process what it was like living through the Egyptian uprising and being, seeing all the massacres and the protests and all the destruction and, all the corruption, and having my first curfew in my entire life. I was just like, what? What do you mean I've got to be in by 7? My mum never even told me I had to be in by 7. It was like back before dark, you did not be ready. Like, and here I've got, like in my 30s, the Egyptian government telling me I need to be in by 7. I'm like, no, I don't think so. Or actually, there's a tank down the road with it and a soldier with an AK-47. Okay, I think I'm not going to argue with that one. But I'm just going to go online and write about it, and I'm going to blog. And I got followed by secret police, and my blog got taken down, and yeah.
Oh my God, Dawn, you never said that before.
Did I not tell you that?
No, my God. You are just in fact, you're a disruptor. I think you sound like you were born.
I'm a molecule shaker. That's what they call.
You are a disruptor, and then you like to reset things, I think, by the
sound. Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And some of us, you're born that way. You are just born that way, and there's no point.
I'm here to disrupt the consciousness.
Disrupt you disrupt society, you disrupt the police, you disrupt secret services, you've disrupted the Egyptian, probably political side of the Egyptians as well, with
Well, I have been told that my second book, which I remember sitting there having a cup of tea, and tea is very good for law of attraction, by the way, just putting that out there. It's a very good manifestor. So drink plenty of tea, people. I remember sitting down with a cup of tea, and I was watching what I was waiting for something to come on. I think I was waiting for a documentary or something to come on because I don't watch programs as such. And I saw something on the BBC and I went, right, that's it. I've had enough. I'm going to write a book. And I got on the phone to my ex-husband and I was like, Ramo, are you going to take the boys? I need to write a book. I need you to have the boys for a couple of weeks. He was like, what? I was like, I just need you to have the boys for a couple of weeks. I need to focus. And he was like, what, you're going to write a book in a couple of weeks? I went, no, I'm going to have the book done by the end of this week. It's going to be on sale in a week after that. And he was like, okay. And he laughed, right? Because he knew it would happen. So wallahi, I sat from the idea to international bestseller on 3 continents. Took me 14 days.
Dawn, look at you go. So I tell you what, you might faff around a lot, but when you pull it together, you flaming well pull it together. You don't faff. You don't when you pull it all together. Look at that. I was talking about the live stream we did before, by the way. You know, the whole internet thing and the, that's faffing. That's what I call faffing. You know, when everything conspires that you go all over the place and stuff, and then finally we pull it all together and we've got this. And really, your message, I mean, it's in the book. It's in all your books, by the sounds of it. You're an international bestseller. It reminds me of, have you seen that film about the international, is it the memoirs of a international spy? The film.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You're talking about, holy shit, that's like, it's like Dawn. Right.
Yeah. I like, because what we're doing with because of my first 3 books, it's like someone said you couldn't even make this up. I'm like, I know, right? Like, I put stuff out there to the universe and stuff happens in the most surprising ways, and I just write a book about it. Can you imagine the Argentinian chapter in my next series of books, A Mermaid's Guide to Hitchhiking? Can you imagine?
I perish the thought. You know what's really weird is I was writing my empath program, right, and it was going to be the the Hitchhiker's Guide to being an empath, right? And then you said about the Hitchhiker's Guide, and I thought, no way, we must have both been thinking about that at the same time. I tried to get the web domain, I couldn't, so I changed the title, by the way. But we both thought about that. You actually did it.
Yeah, I've got a series of books coming out called The Mermaid's Guide to Hitchhiking. Well, Mermaid's Guide. So I'm going to take my 22 years of leadership and cultural diversity work and write a book about, it's going to be called The Mermaid's Guide to Leadership. Then there's one, The Mermaid's Guide to Cultural Diversity. There's one called The Mermaid's Guide to Hitchhiking, about what it's been like for me to go through what I went through with Scotland. A harrowing experience in October 2017, which will be revealed in my other series of books, the Sacral series. And that's a series of 9 books with a podcast series that will accompany it. And yeah, they're all being written all at the same time. I've been writing them while I've been writing them. But yeah, and so the Hitchhiker's Mermaid's Guide to Hitchhiking is what it's like being a long distance mother and following my dream and building my business after the Scotland saga, which is what I call crossing the line. And it's actually quite interesting. Today is I was actually, and it's 11:22 now. I've just looked at the date to see the date. Today is the date that I actually arrived at my mum's after being released from the jail cell.
Oh, good God. This is all, I can just imagine everybody watching this video now and they're like, oh my God, we need to know more about her. And even though I know you've got an interview to do at past, right?
Yeah, I do.
I've got an interview to do at past as well. But also,
we've got 8 minutes.
We've got 8 minutes. We need to talk about this book that's being released tomorrow. And also, listen, we're going to have to do one just purely on you, right? Because I think doing the book when it's to do with other people, great, promoting that. But what about the woman behind all that? She's fascinating, right?
Thank you.
She's a shit hot mama, right? A modern day version of a mum trying to juggle what our soul's carrying, right? What our deep desires are in trying to find Dawn, right? In that, and what message Dawn's got to share with the world, right? And by the sounds of it, that's going to cover a lot of books. That is certainly going to cover a lot of books. So therefore, it's going to be, listen, it could even take a few series of interviews here to cover all that. You know that, don't you?
Yeah. You got a decade.
I know. I think so. And I'm just, I'm honoured to be in your presence. I'm honoured to connect with you and to share somebody with the same sense of humour as me. I mean, that's just priceless. Can I just say that? It is all about, it's not about the giggle. It's about being able to laugh with somebody at the stupid things that other people just goes right over their head, doesn't it? It's like, what are you laughing at? Does anybody say to you as well, you would laugh at a swinging gate?
Yeah. I laugh at everything. I'm the funniest person I know. I spend so much time by myself. I have to be.
You have to be like a one-woman show.
Do you know, this morning I got up and I noticed that one of my, I've got a chair that I hung something on, and it had fallen on the floor. How that had happened in the night, I have no idea. I don't know, like, I think there was like some fairies or something. And I was like, Dawn, pick your clothes up off the floor, will you? And I said it in my mum's voice, and then I just started laughing. And I was like, oh, my mum, she's just always with me, telling me to pick my clothes up off the floor. And I'm just walking through my apartment, giggling away to myself because I'm talking to myself. And I'm doing it in my mum's voice. And I'm like, this is priceless. I think I've finally lost it. But the thing is, we all do it. But so many people, they will not admit to it because and this is the thing, it's like when we are so comfortable with who we are and we can laugh at ourselves, with ourselves, then we find humor. And when we don't take ourselves so seriously, we can find humor in the most beautiful of things. But one thing I wanted to pick up on there, you mentioned about the single, like I'm a single mum doing this journey, and for a lot of people I'm being irresponsible because I'm not at home serving my children, but I'm serving them from a very high level because I'm showing them what it means to follow your dreams and follow your purpose and live on purpose and in purpose. They're perfectly fine with their dad. They're having man time. They're living in a bachelor pad, like with gaming PCs and lights that are changing. And all they have to do is, Alexa, change the lights, switch the lights on. Alexa, and they send messages throughout the house. I've been replaced by Alexa.
You have been replaced by Alexa, yeah.
Like by a computer, but Alexa does not order surprises for my boys and send them. They all got surprises today. I was like, oh, that's a cool thing for them. And like, so the boys are all really made up this morning because they've all arrived like a couple of days early. Thank you, Amazon. I know that Amazon are a very touchy subject at the moment for some of the things that are going on politically. But the thing is, one of the things I love about Annie is she's the granddaughter of two single mums. And the legacy that her grandmothers created for their son, for Annie's father, single mums, we are more powerful than we realize. Stop making excuses, own your power and strive, because the results and the legacy you are creating is so much more powerful than you can ever imagine. So that's my message to single mums today.
Oh my God, and that's a perfect note to finish on, isn't it? I'm going to go simply, and you've just described something that I have spent a long time trying to feel, well, I felt guilty for myself, right? In fact, that when I reached, and even years ago, I was reaching for something more and trying to be the mum at home at the same time, right? And then there was a contention point, right? There's that, what do they call it? A paradox, isn't it? You kind of hit that paradox point where I ended up, in a country, 3 countries away type thing, right? Because I wanted to show my children that there was more to life than just what was going on at that point. And I came up against a lot of stick. a lot of stigma. I lost my friends, my family,
Yeah.
because they couldn't understand. Everything went tits up, basically, right? And then I had to work it, you know, I had to re-navigate that all again through that in an area that I didn't have anybody showing me how to do that, right?
No.
And you would have been the same. We have to bloody well make it up as we go along. We have to create that story as we go along. And I'm still here, right? You're still where you are, right? We're literally shining the light for the generations that are coming after us, right?
Absolutely.
Because the world, I don't know if you've noticed, guys, the world has changed and will continue to change. As much as we want it
the
to
matriarchs are coming.
Much as we want it to be like that, it's just not like that anymore, right? And nobody gave us the memo other than up there.
No, they didn't.
No.
See, that's the thing that I put on the book, Crossing the Line. Welcome, when parenting and the law collide. Welcome to the hidden rule book of parenting.
Exactly. My God, girl, thank you so much for doing this, right? We managed to get some of this out. I'll be posting it, you know, on my pages and my YouTube and that, and I will send you the copy as well. It's fabulous. Let's schedule and do something a little bit more in depth, because I really would love to find out more about you, as I'm sure everybody else would be. You're fascinating. You're a shit hot mama, right? With a shit hot soul, right? And just the words even coming out your mouth, never mind writing about, are powerful. People need to hear this. All right, lots of love.
Love you lots.
Love you lots. Bye.